and welcome back to Up the Villa podcast. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, drop this video a like, and get involved in the comment section down below. And also get interactive with us on our website and put your teams on social media as well. So it's the last predicted lineup until the end of December. This feature will be going into the cupboard for a little bit, and it won't be coming out now until sort of the end of December. So we are going to be covering the World Cup. So we've got episodes that will be coming out virtually every day, match reactions to virtually all the games in the World Cup as well, talking points, England match previews, England match reactions, and then we'll just cover literally the whole tournament as well. So we aren't sort of ditching the channel while the World Cup's on. We've got loads of content coming. I'm sure there'll be transfer rumours as well. So there's plenty for you all to stick around for as well. And we're close to 10K. So if you can subscribe, highly appreciate it for myself. And thanks to everybody that watched the reaction to the United and sort of like the Brighton preview as well. It went down really, really well. So Brighton, big game. Hopefully we can get something from it. I think if we can get a point, I'd be more than happy with that. It's going to be a really, really difficult game. But I think we can pose them certain questions. I think we can really get into them. And I think, obviously, Emery will have a real big game plan for this game as well. We'll have 7 players coming back into the starting lineup, I feel, as well. Because I don't feel like any of the ones that played against Manchester United did enough to stake a claim in the first team either. So let's have a look at our predicted lineup for Brighton v Aston Villa. Formation-wise, I'm going with 4-4-2. I think some of the things to come out of the games that we've seen so far is that we look a little bit like this when we are out of possession. It's a 4-4-2. We're generally playing with a mid to high line, which worked really well in the first game against Man United, and then we got undone in the second half because we were getting through balls over the top through here, and we got a through ball over the top through here, and that defensive line couldn't really cope with it. In the first half against Manchester United, the high line was working quite well, to be fair. We was playing Fernandes offside. We played Rashford offside as well. So it did work well, but I think a breakdown in communication just didn't really help, and I think our back line just wasn't as fluid as what it could have been. So I think at the minute, we've got to be cautious of this high line because we got caught twice against Manchester United in the second half. So hopefully we can work on that. And that's not an area in which we're going to get done week in and week out. But yeah, this 4-4-2 system without the ball is working really well. There was times against Manchester United in that game as well where it sort of looked like a 4-1-3-2 at times as well. The formation looked like that slightly as well. So predominantly we are a 4-4-2, aren't we, at the minute? And he has tweaked it from his Villarreal days where he was sort of playing that sort of asymmetric formation where we haven't really seen any of that. We're playing with this narrow little box formation as well. And I know Ten Hag has been really impressed with this formation as well. So it is working pretty well, to be fair. I'm liking what I'm seeing. It enables us to have these two up top that can sort of split at times. We get runners coming through as well. So it is working pretty well, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. The fullbacks are going forward as well. They're offering some width. I think against Manchester United in that game, it didn't offer as much as what I would probably feel like we could do. I felt like that ball, when we sort of transitioned it to out wide, it did always sort of go back, and then it was a little bit slower. But all in all, I am pretty happy with what I've seen then. So let's have a look at the formation and then what we're going to play. I think thankfully, Aston Villa turns down Argentina's request for us to have Martinez miss out this game. So Emi Martinez comes back. He's going to see a lot of the ball for Aston Villa in these games as well. So Tyrone Mings, Unfortunate that slip, wasn't it? It was an unfortunate slip. I thought Konsa had a decent game as well. I'm going to go with Matty Cash, and then he's going to be off to the World Cup. And then we're going to go with Luca Dean. I think that is our best defensive unit. I'm going to go with Dougie Luiz. He's going to play for me in that double pivot. And then I am going to go with... I thought Kamara played well, but I think against Brighton, we're going to have a little bit more structure and be a little bit more solid. And although I do feel like Kamara is the future, I think he played a lot of minutes against Man United and he is trying to get back to full fitness. So I think I would go and I'd stick with Dendoncker. I think his stature and his presence, I just think works really well at the minute. So I think I'd stick with Dendoncker. I would go with Jacob Ramsey on the right-hand side of the box. I think he's working really, really well with Leon Bailey. I think they're going to get a nice little partnership going as well. And then on the left-hand side of the box, we are going to go with Emi Buendia. And with Buendia, it's so important that he gets on the ball and he starts not dictating, but gets Villa ticking. I think he's got a really important part to play. And I was really impressed with what he was doing against Manchester United in the first game as well. We're going to go with Leon Bailey. Absolutely sensational stuff that I'm seeing from Bailey at the minute. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing. He's dribbling, his confidence, he's direct, he's making runs, he's assisting. I mean, that ball, when he did that jinking run to Watkins was, oh my God, it was so good. It was unbelievable. So Bailey is going to start for me. And then up top, Ollie Watkins. That finish that he did, taking his time, looking up, was what we need him to do. So Villa fans, this is my team for Brighton v Aston Villa. It's our last game before the World Cup now. So our pre-match content is over now. And we'll be back for our match reaction. And then I'll do a debrief as well. And then we'll get into our World Cup content. So Villa fans, let me know what you make of my team. Would you stick with the team that beat Manchester United? I think that's the only one I would do unless there's any injuries. The only one you'd think is Dendoncker or Kamara, but I just think right now I think I'm sticking with Dendoncker. So Villa fans, if you can subscribe to our channel, let's get us to 10,000 subscribers. If you aren't signed into a Google account and you do watch us and you haven't got an account, just takes 2 minutes. Just create an email and then you can comment on all of our videos as well. So I know there's a few that watch that don't actually have an account. So I want to do a shout out to Thea. I've been asked to do a shout out. She's a little Villa fan that watches our videos as well. So shout out to Thea. And there were so many of you at the United game as well that came up to me. I mean, it blows my mind, to be fair. It literally blows my mind. I get that many people now that are like, Up the Villa podcast, love Up the Villa podcast. So if you are those people that do that, cheers. Even when I was walking out the game the other day, there was like people in their cars saying, I love your podcast. So, it means the world to me that like so many of you enjoy it. And that's the main part. And I just want as many of you to feel like you can comment on the videos and this is like your podcast as well, for you to voice your views. And I love that you all like each other's comments and all the banter that you have with each other as well. And you do comment on each other's posts as well. So it's a real cool little community that we've got. So I just want to say cheers for all the support, because, the last few months, the channel's just gone, it's done bits. So, I want to thank you all for that as well. So, we got a real good concept that I'm keeping tight lips until we get to 10K. So, soon as we get there, I'll unleash it. We should have merch coming this weekend as well. I've put the order in, so I've just got to go and pick it up as well at some point over the weekend. So that should be in time for Christmas as well. And I think you're going to love it, Villa fans. It's something that I'm not going to say anything, but it's class, man. It's class. We've got about 20 odd items of this particular item. So there are only 20. And then if it goes quickly, then I can get another batch. So be sure to stay tuned, because once it's gone, it's gone. So yeah, up the Villa. We'll be back for a match reaction and a debrief, and then it's World Cup content. Up the Villa.